Okay, normally I would do a screencast, but because I want you to do it on this paper, I think this is going to work better. So my apologies. All right, from the Nearpod assignment, you should have this quadrant, the coordinate points in this quadrant figured out of the unit circle. Now what I want to talk about is how if we just know this one quadrant, we can figure out quadrant 2, 3, and 4. So, for example, this this coordinate point here was formed by knowing this triangle. All right, so now if I just take this point and I reflect it over this side, this coordinate point is the same except for we have a coordinate plane where this is x and this is y. So if I flip this over, the x is changing, but the y is not. So x is now going to be on the left-hand side, so it's going to be negative square root of 3 over 2. But the y coordinate is not changing at all, so that's going to be a half. And now this point could be reflected over this line right here. And now it's still on the left-hand side, so the x is going to stay negative, and now you're flipping. The y coordinate is now going from the top to below the x-axis, so now this is going to turn negative, the y coordinate. So they are both negative. So this is going to be negative square root of 3 over 2 over negative 1/2. Again, this coordinate point could then be reflected over on this side. Or you could think about it as this coordinate point is flipping down here. So in this quadrant, the x is positive, but the y is negative. So x is positive, y is negative. So I have the square root of 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. And now I should be able to do that with all of the coordinate points until I'm done. So for example, this coordinate point, this orange one here, we have the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. I can take this point and I can flip it over here. And in this quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. So this becomes negative, this stays positive. So we have negative square root of 2 over 2, and then the square root of 2 over 2. I take this point and I reflect it down here. In this quadrant, x is negative and y is negative. So we have negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. And then again, this point I can reflect over here, or you could think about it as reflecting this point over here. And in this quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So x is positive, y is negative. Square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. Now I want you to do that same process with that last coordinate point. Reflect it here, reflect it here, reflect it here. And if you can't figure it out, you can always check your answer by just Googling the unit circle, and tons of images are going to come up. Now I need you to watch the next 2 videos that we made at the last school I worked at in order to show you how we're going to use this unit circle. Okay?